Hey, how's it going, everyone? Happy Monday, and I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I've got another episode, or I guess whatever the heck I'd call this stuff, toy artist interview, whatever the heck you want to call it. I've just got a really great dude over here with me to talk about action figures and toy photography and everywhere thing in between. His name is Jeremy, and he's right here, man. How's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. Thank you for everything you do, being here with me today, all that stuff. Tell me a little bit about Jeremy and a little bit about Nilla Gorilla.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I live in Denver, Colorado. So if everybody's from the U.S., I'm sure you know where that's at. But if not, it's right by the Rocky Mountains. So live in a really cool area. You know, the weather is always pretty good here, and it's got the mountains 20 minutes away from where I live. So that's pretty dope. I've been here for most of my life. I grew up in the Chicagoland area when I was younger, but I've been here for about 15 years again. So, yeah.
So the weather is always pretty good.
Pretty good.
Colorado? Really?
Yeah. Well, I live in Chicago, which I would imagine is very similar to the weather where you're at. You know, it's humid, so you kind of get the Florida the summers and kind of the Minnesota winters there because of the lake effect.
Yes.
Here it's very dry, so you don't get the humidity issue. So a lot of times, if it is hot, it's still not as bad as like somewhere super humid. And then the winters aren't too bad either. You get a couple cold days, but then you get 50-degree days kind of in between. So
that's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, Silver.
Hey, Silver Moon, and thank you for everyone who's here in the chat right now throwing stuff in. And I see a couple of you guys with questions thrown in there. I certainly will be asking you guys to please ask us some questions later on. Please do.
Yeah.
But cool. So tell me a little bit about you as Nilla Gorilla, about your world of action figures and toys and taking pictures of them.
For sure. Yeah, I started in 2022. I was definitely, that's funny, the collab I'm entering Retro Store. What's up, man? I kind of was just looking for a hobby. I had a big change of a situation. COVID, like everybody else, kind of uprooted what I was doing. And I kind of started with sketching. I was hell-bent to like get a little better, kind of like maybe start drawing up just for personal, like my own comics and stuff like that. But and I found I found a guy online who had done that does a Patreon, and he has like you could do private lessons with him that had worked for DC and Marvel a few times and done some of their comics. So I thought that was super cool. So I took a couple lessons, and I learned kind of a lot from him, but I also learned that I wasn't going to be fast enough at learning this to like appease my what I wanted to do. But when I started doing that, have you ever seen like those things that sketchers use, like kind of like a gray kind of neutral figure that they a lot of people use just to kind of get poses that they can draw,
like the wooden thing?
Yeah, they'll use wooden ones sometimes, but they also have ones that are like kind of a gray plastic kind of deal.
Okay.
I saw that. I saw that with the guy that was teaching me, and when I started looking at that, it prompted my Instagram to kind of go in showing me toy photography accounts.
What an interesting way to be introduced to it. That is very interesting.
Yeah, and at the time, I just was kind of like, it was something. I was like, oh, this is exactly what I'm looking for, because I can do the poses I want a lot easier. I can like kind of figure it out. And it was 3 accounts that came up. It was you, obviously, which I'm sure you hear a lot, was you, Mateo Toy Photography, and Ian Sanders.
Cool.
Those were the 3 that kind of just popped up on my stuff. And yeah, then I just went from there. I just started watching your tutorials and just kind of started to accumulate a little at a time. I started real briefly with an iPhone, but then pretty quickly got a digital camera that could do more of the shutter speed and stuff that you needed to do a lot of the practical effects, and just work through it that way. Yeah,
that really is an interesting introductory avenue to toy photography that I've never seen before. And so is this what you're kind of talking about?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah. Okay. And a lot of the sketchers use it to put it in a pose, and then they have it in front of them as like a reference, you know? And yeah, it was just kind of one of those things. I'm like, man, these things look pretty cool on their own. And then it just kind of, worked its way out from there.
And I feel like mannequin is like the perfect term for it, Phil.
Yeah, mannequin, like a 6-inch mannequin, basically. Yeah. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, but the good thing that I think came from doing a little bit of the sketching I did was kind of learning some of the techniques on posing. You know, they do a lot of stuff on like the S curve and a C curve, if you've ever heard of that. Just certain like ways of like, you know, that you should have your figures posed that makes it not just like a verticals up and down. And it's stuff that you do, like most people kind of do anyway, but just to have that reference. And I recommend going online on YouTube and look up S curve and C curve and just see what a lot of these artists do with that. And it really helps a lot with posing.
So there's a lot of actual legitimate like terminology for some of the random action figure crap that we just do all the time.
Yeah, for sure. And I didn't know that I was doing that with that guy, but it definitely was pretty cool to learn when I was doing it.
That is really cool. That's really awesome. So since you've been doing this for 2 years, and Captain Wonder is also kind of thinking, is toy photography hard? I think that's what he meant.
I don't know if I would consider it hard. I just think it takes practice, right? Like anything else, I think it's just something that you start learning the more you do it. You kind of start to learn the angles that look better, and you learn how to do the effects better.
Yeah.
Just practice.
You're absolutely right. And Captain Wonder, I think toy photography, amongst other art creative outlet things, it's so cool because it doesn't matter who you are, what you have, or any type of skill you already have, anybody can do it. As long as you have a phone or any type of camera and any type of toy, you can go and do it. Doesn't matter if you have anything else or whatever. It's so easy to get into. Just go outside, for instance. And
that's what was great about your account. That's why I liked your account. That's why yours was so like perfect for me to find first, because you're really good at doing stuff outside with no diorama. So you could like literally go out with the phone and one figure, and you can make that work. And that's exactly the way to get started. I think.
That's awesome. Well, thank you. And it really is. I love that about it. Anybody can just grab a figure, just go and do it, you know, and it really is that cool. Yeah. Mike, ask you a question too. What's your favorite toy line to photograph?
I think that's tough. I think that I tend to lean towards Mafex. You know, it's not on purpose. I think there's definitely figures and other lines that I like, you know, for certain things, like and I think each line, that's actually a collab I did. That's my friend Wanna Be Like Mike's picture. It's a good picture.
This is yours.
Yeah, that's mine.
This is your version.
Yeah. But like I you know, like I think SH Figure Arts is up there. They put out some really good stuff. There's something about the head sculpts for Mafex. I think they just have the best looking, especially for like women figures. I think that they probably do the best job for head sculpts. But
I agree. I really agree. I'm actually trying to find. Here we go. Here's some Mafex right here.
Yeah, there's some Mafex, and then that Bo-Katan's that new Bo-Katan Mafex too. Yeah, that's probably my
this
favorite.
Is the Mafex.
Yeah, that's a Mafex Bo-Katan.
I just got her in the mail today.
Oh, she's great. Yeah, she's great. You'll enjoy it.
Cool. All right.
And then I got the Ahsoka coming any day now. That's definitely
she looks great too.
Yeah, so I'm pretty stoked about that. But yeah, it just depends. I mean, I kind of have a little bit of everything. You know, like I like my Avenger line is really like I have Sentinel Spider-Man, Sentinel Miles, But then I have like the same DLX Iron Man you have. I have that one.
Oh my god, what a cool figure!
Oh my god, I'm like, it's perfect. I mean, in that die cast, like having the real metal, it just the way it shines with like anything is pretty awesome. But yeah, it just kind of goes figure to figure. Amazing Yamaguchi has some good stuff too, I think.
Yes, they sure do. It's
yeah.
What's great is you don't have to just pick one. You can just get whatever brand you like, and we're in a wonderful renaissance of lots of different figures, which can either be a blessing or a curse, because
for sure. Because then you're just like, you find your way, like, oh, I'm just gonna stick to this, and then you're like, nah, I'm just gonna kind of wing out everywhere. Next thing you know, you got 20 extra figs in some lineup that you weren't planning on getting any in.
It sure is. Hey,
Letty.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna start pulling up some shots and talking about. So this is the one I used for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
Because this is just like, it's simple. The lighting is perfect, and Deadpool and Wolverine is such a great kind of duo to shoot, especially right now. Plus the simplicity of it, and it pulls you in. You know, there's a type of familiarity with what's happening. At least people maybe from generations in which arcade cabinets were more relevant, but still, it's a really great, playful, fun shot. Tell me about it.
Yeah, I just typically, like, when I'm trying to make poses, I tend to just kind of pose a figure while I'm chilling out. Like if I'm watching, like, you know, The Boys or something, I'm just kind of messing with the fig, you know. And I that's kind of what happened here. I kept looking for something to use at arcade for, and I had my Wolverine and Deadpool kind of around, and I just kind of made them look like they're playing arcades. And then I kind of went for the symmetrical look on this. I use extreme set in the back. It's kind of like a diorama that's just like they're flat, so you can store them easy. And just want really symmetrical with it. I like that they have the two windows there, and I just wanted to I put the two posts on the side and put the arcade right in the middle, just to kind of frame and, you know, make it look really super symmetrical. I like the look of that.
It is very symmetrical. You know, I didn't actually really think of that, but it's perfect. Like if you were to cut the picture in half, like it almost would be. That's really cool. Nice.
Yeah.
Something
I was glad it worked.
Never think of.
Yeah, and of course that's a really fun, you know, duo to put up right now because of the obvious.
Awesome. Right. Can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Is the arcade cabinet what brand is that?
Super Action stuff.
It is Super Action stuff.
Yeah, it's the Game On one they do.
Right. Yeah,
I love that. I love his props. I get everything he brings out for the most part.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah,
he's great.
And I like doing some sports stuff. So, and that particular one was perfect because I had a football, a hockey puck. So I have like a picture of like Catwoman hitting a hockey puck. I got the Miles with the football. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm sure you've seen some in my dunk. I like doing a lot of slam dunk pictures.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like where's the here we go. The Snoopy.
There's Snoopy one. He doesn't move much. I had to find that was the only pose I could get that I'm like, it looks kind of like he's dunking.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. But the arcade cabinet looks like Marvel vs. Capcom.
It does. Yeah, that's exactly why I was like that.
Is that a custom Marvel vs. Capcom? So
yeah,
that's
and then it lights up too. And then that's what's cool about him is he always makes part of the props the what holds everything. So that arcade actually can hold all the props that come.
Right, it holds everything in it. Yeah, super
smart.
Yeah, it's really cool. Cool. There's already actually a ton of really great questions
awesome.
in the chat that I'm just gonna take them away.
Yeah.
Any suggestions on finding your style of photography? For me, it seems to be more on the post-production side with messing with Snapseed settings until I get my vintage trading card style. Well, that's kind of a cool goal. So yeah,
that is. Yeah. God, man, you know, what's funny is like, I think sometimes I find myself not having a specific style, which is good and bad. Like I try to make my pictures crisp, and I like to have a lot of color in them. I think that might be something I could do all around, but you know, for me, like, I think that the environment that I'm in kind of just made my style of stuff, you know, like I don't have a lot of room indoors right now because I'm living in a place that we're kind of remodeling the whole thing. So just stuff is always happening. So I only have like a little little area indoors to use. So most of my stuff, I have to kind of keep it pretty compact as far as
Mhm.
what I use. And then I use a lot of outdoor shots because, that is a lot easier for me to do. So a lot of it's just environmental for me. I think it's hard. Like, I think once you get into it, the style kind of finds you, if that makes any sense, like,
Yeah, you like, at least for what my opinion on is, I don't think you have to do anything to find your style. Like, if
yeah,
you just do what you think is cool,
it'll kind of just
like, because
happen.
everyone has their own, you know, preferences to anything. If you just do what you like, naturally, it's gonna show in every photo that you do because it's just the stuff you like. And then there's
Yep.
your style. It just happens. Like,
Yeah.
so, I would say, Forrest, just do what you think is cool, and if that's post production stuff, the
Yeah.
more you do it, it'll just show. Even if you probably won't even notice your own style, I bet you other people will, just
Yeah.
because.
And that's
Um,
kind of the beauty of the art, right? Like, I
yeah,
mean, I got some of my favorite pages. They do really Photoshop heavy stuff. I think of like Kill Cutter Photo, solely not a bird, not a plane. They're just really awesome at Photoshop, like just amazing at it, And I'm okay.
incredible.
I mean, I can make a lightsaber and like kind of fix some stuff, but I can't do what those guys. There's no way. So I have to like kind of be pretty precise with what I do when I'm taking a shot, so I don't have to do a whole lot of post production stuff you know
Yeah,
um
yeah.
so
So with a lot of the outdoor stuff that you do,
yeah.
you have specific locations you specifically like to go to, or do you just like go anywhere and you just find a little spot and then there it is, or like, yeah,
I
like
mean,
what?
most of the time it's in my backyard just because it's convenient. So the nice thing I have in my backyard is my grandma left this like huge like fountain. It's like humongous, and it's like
Cool.
it's got a little dip in it. It's made of it's cement or something, but it's perfect because I can put water in it, I can put dirt in it, I can put sand in it, and it's perfect amount of like depth, so I can actually do underwater. Like that's in that predator one there.
That's
It's
what I was
kind
just
of
gonna grab.
like an underwater, but it's in the fountain. So I had to cut like it's only the top of them, but it's still just deep enough to put that one half of his body into the water and shoot off
Cool.
some fire. And then it's also like I can shoot fireworks in it because it's stone, so it doesn't hurt anything. And I also have this random weird little palette that I have in the backyard that's turned up right side up, and I use that to get more sky pictures. So I have like two little spots in my backyard I tend to
Oh,
use the
okay.
most. Yeah.
Cool.
And I just like made it my own stuff. I'll put stone behind them, or some
Right.
greens behind them and stuff like that.
Right. You
Yeah.
don't. You really don't need like crazy locations to make cool toy photos. Action
Yeah.
figures are only this big. You don't need
Yeah.
to go to a giant crazy spot. Like, and you'll need to find a cool spot that fits something this
That's
big.
small. Yeah.
You know?
And I'm big on putting the background, I use really low aperture, make sure the background's blurred. I like people to use their imagination. So it's like,
I like that.
and I love bokeh, so like anything that gives a little bokeh in your picture,
And this
it's my favorite.
this photo has some incredible bokeh. I mean,
Yeah.
look at that.
Yeah.
That is
Yeah, it
like
was fun.
that's almost like too good. That's
I appreciate that.
those perfect, beautiful orbs
Yeah.
of balls of bokeh, and
Yeah,
the
I was happy
reflection on
those
the
turned out.
water of both the figure and the fire. This is
Yeah.
an awesome shot. This is a
Thank
really
you.
cool shot.
Thank you. Yeah, I was happy. And like most of the time, I even try to do a one shot. Like I do layer sometimes, but in this particular one, it was just I didn't put it. It's one shot. I didn't like add it. I
Wow.
was using it. I was using a handheld fog machine to do the dry ice effect thing here. And while I was lighting the firework, and then I just hit it at the same time, and just was lucky enough to get
That's
a shot.
incredible.
Yeah.
Wow.
Thank you. Yeah.
The toy photography gods, whoever was
They were happy.
definitely on your side that day.
Yeah, they were.
Wow,
They
that's incredible. Well done.
were. Yeah. Thank you.
Hey, Joe. Thanks
Wow,
for
what's
coming in,
up?
man. They
Another
sell
Colorado native.
Right. Okay. I was.
I think Silver Moon is too, actually.
What? Wow. All right.
Mm.
Cool. But I didn't know that. Well, Joe, I'm sorry. Someone swapped out the figure in the actual box that you got from Amazon. That's crazy.
Oh.
I'm sure you'll be able to return it. Amazon is usually pretty good with that stuff. At least in my.
Of all of it too. It's not even the same line. It's like you got a U.S. agent instead of a Joe Buzzer.
Oh yeah, they're not even from the same
Yeah, like the same thing. It's like
same world.
Yeah, yeah.
What an interesting reaction that must have been.
Yeah, like this doesn't look like Joe Buzzer.
So Seismic Action makes a really great point about the whole style thing. To develop your own photography style, experiment with techniques, study others, maintain consistent editing, focus on your niche, seek feedback, and practice regularly. I mean, those are all
That's
just
spot on.
great
Yeah.
practices in general. All of those
Yeah.
things. Really great.
Yeah.
Totally.
Agree.
Yeah, really great point. All right. I feel like I'm behind on some questions here.
Oh.
Okay, Jason. Jason's been asking for some tips. Need some tips because I'm getting Black Noir for my birthday. So
Nice.
some tips. Okay, perfect. Jeremy, you're just talking about the boys. Can you think of any good ideas for a Black Noir photo shoot?
Man. I mean, I'm all about explosions, so I mean, I think anything with a firework would probably look good with him.
Yeah.
I put him in some sort of like, I did a picture of like Agent Venom that kind of probably would be similar-ish to like something that would work with Noir, where you can kind of have him in a shooting or a fighting phase. Yeah, something like that maybe would be kind of cool. I'm not sure if it's easy for them to get fireworks or not, but
That's true.
yeah.
There's a really cool, like, I think maybe from like season 1, some of the I think it's season 2, some like promotional kinds of photos of the 7, and they're all just like walking, like slow motion kind of walking.
Yeah,
with,
that
like,
looks pretty
smoke in the
cool.
background. Because I
Yeah.
think it's season 2 because Starlight has that like the
new,
sexier version of
yeah,
her
the new
costume, you know?
outfit. Yeah.
So I think that's what. So maybe something like that with some like smoke in the background or
Yeah.
something, or anything. So
I think fighting any of the hand-to-hand guys would be kind of cool too from other worlds. Like if you had like Batman versus Noir would be probably a cool photo, or
great idea.
yeah,
Batman.
or like I guess Black Panther would probably be a good one too, or just any of those kind of hand-to-hand combat people.
Cool. All right, Jason. Hopefully those you've got a lot of almost too many ideas. You're gonna have to do a couple shots for sure.
Yeah. That's the beauty of having a fig, though, right? You want to have more than one option.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lucian, it kind of has turned into a like real questioning session, but I want to make sure I just highlight some of the fantastic stuff. And this is one you were just talking about with Agent Venom. This is such a cool shot. I mean, come on, like the firework is epic. You captured that beautifully, but like the silhouette basically of Agent Venom in this cool pose you've got, this is just super cool. Like, come on, this is awesome. So tell me about this.
I mean, it was the first night I got him. Actually, he came in like at like 5 o'clock, and I'm like, man, it's too late to do anything but a firework. I guess that's what we're doing.
Nice.
And I just kind of posed him around. I just kind of wanted to use the tentacles because you could use the multiple guns on him, and just decided to kind of have him like look like he was jumping back, from something while he was trying to shoot, and kind of did the same thing. Threw something on, just posed him up until it got dark. Kind of set it up, and when it got dark, just shot the firework off and did it.
Just real quick.
Yeah, just real quick. And then this was a one shot as well, luckily. And then I added the glowy eyes. I used your lightsaber video, like you do on your lightsaber video, same way. I did his eyes that way, and then I added a few little lens or gun flares to the guns, and that was pretty much it, minus a little bit of like just contrast and highlighting and stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, it's really good. And I feel silly for missing out on this figure because I've always really liked Agent Venom. It's just like a really cool kind of.
He is, yeah.
Like,
I just like spiders in general. I felt like I needed him. Like I don't even know much about him, to be honest.
He's cool. He's cool.
Yeah.
He's got like no legs, but the symbiote kind of like
turns into the legs for him.
Gives him some. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I'm not.
And it's the same symbiote as Venom, right? Like it is the Venom symbiote. He leaves Eddie for this guy. Is that I think what
yes,
happens,
I think so.
Right?
For Flash Thompson.
Yeah,
I'm not even a big Marvel guy, but I did read a bunch of him because like there's a time in my life where I was like, I really like Deadshot and Deathstroke, and like characters like that. And Agent Venom was kind of like that, but like, well, now it's just totally into that. And so, man, I wish I didn't miss this figure. I'm sure.
Yeah, hopefully it comes back around again. It's good.
Like
see, the amazing Yamaguchi I missed out on that I'm sad about is Moon Knight. Apparently that's supposed to have like the best cape ever, but
interesting.
But it's been sold out for a minute.
Cool. Well, all right, let's see. Letty's got it. Were you a collector first or were you a photographer first?
Photographer first, for sure. I didn't have a figure in my collection until I decided to start taking pictures. The first one I bought was Darth Vader. It was Black Series Darth Vader. Figured he was a good start.
Like right here. Right?
Actually, no, that's the I've upgraded. That's the Mafex
That
one.
is right. That face
Yeah.
looks a lot better.
Yeah, it's been a while. You'd have to scroll pretty far, but it's the Obi-Wan, I think, version. And then I think the second one I got was the Jungle Predator from Nika. I tried starting cheaper, and then I realized I'm just gonna go full on and started buying Mafex and stuff like that.
Nice. Yeah, it'll do that to you, especially when you just start seeing all these like other people using these figures.
Yeah,
brands.
you just get a little FOMO about it. You're like, okay, I need to see what's up.
Yeah, it's a thing for sure. It absolutely is. All right, yeah, these are great questions, everyone. Throwing stuff in here. All right, is there any specific shot of yours that like you are just really proud of that I should pull up, because like I'm gonna just pull up what I think is awesome, but I definitely want to make sure I pull up the things about what do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if there's a specific one that stands out. I mean, you can pull up whatever. That's my cat one.
I love this.
We did we have like a little reoccurring collab we do once a month, and this we went with the theme. What was it? It was like, oh, villains do good too. I think it's what it was. And so everybody just did a shot of like a villain doing something nice or
so funny,
not evil.
I never would have thought Darkseid of all people to be gentle.
Yeah. Well, you know, and it wouldn't it be a cat that if anyone goes up to a villain, it would be a cat. They wouldn't care. They'd be like, "No, I'm coming up there. I don't care who you are."
True. Absolutely true. And this cat down here is begging for.
Yeah, he's like, "Yo, I want to be picked up too."
So this shot here.
Yeah.
This is super cool. I mean, the lighting is awesome. Posing's really cool. Is this also that same extreme set?
Yeah, that's what's cool about it. You get like four or five panels that are all a little bit different, and they're all just like their own separate deals. So they have like there's one with an Exit sign, there's one with like an American flag, and then there's two window ones. There's one kind of bigger window and one with two smaller windows. And yeah, I just put those two on the side, and I just put heavy lights on the two windows on the left and right. And again, I kind of went with the symmetry again. That's what those posters, you could move them. They're like their own thing.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, so it's really easy to kind of do symmetrical with it. So I did it again that way, where I just had the two guys kind of framing. Raph kind of one of them looking like he's like coming around the corner real fast, you know, kind of like almost sliding.
What are the soldier figures?
What are they called? They're part of the Last Ronin line of the. Because have you heard of I know you're not a big turtle guy, but do you know about the Last Ronin? Have you heard of that?
Right, he's one of the turtles. The rest of them have died, and you don't really find out which one he is until
till the end, right? And those are part of that whole Last Ronin line, and they're just like the kind of like robot foot soldiers, I think. Gotcha. I don't know a whole lot about them, but builder. Yeah,
grunts, whatever.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. I like the turtles. My only issue with turtles sometimes is the articulation's always a little not awesome, but the Last Ronin ones are better than some.
It worked perfectly for this shot, that's for sure.
Yeah,
definitely for sure.
Yeah.
Forrest had threw in another question a little bit ago that I thought was pretty cool. One other question I had is, what do you consider, or do you consider it cheating overlaying or to show your background of your photo? I feel guilty doing so, but it was a rainy day and I gave myself a goal of one photo a day. No, I don't think it's cheating at all.
What does he mean by overlay? Do you mean just like putting a digital putting a background in afterwards?
I think so. It was adding in a background because it was raining and he couldn't get another one, so he digitally put in a background. I
think there's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely. I mean, what's the difference if you're doing that or turning on a TV and using a digital background like that? It's the same. I
would say it's not only is it not cheating, but it's an entirely a technique in and of itself that
it really is.
Takes practice and stuff like that to not only accomplish, but to because you have to shoot your photo in a way that matches the background you're adding in, so it looks like it's.
Yep. And it takes time. It's patience to sit there and get everything selected you want off the picture that you don't want to have taken away.
Yeah,
I have nothing wrong with that. I mean, I think it's only really cheating if you just straight up do a full AI picture. If you go on AI and say, make a 20-foot photo of, blah, 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 then that's probably cheating.
Yeah. But Mile High says, what are some of the best places in Colorado to shoot?
Man, well, I think that's hard because it's like you got the Rocky Mountains, so I shoot probably less out than I should because there are so many beautiful places. But the few times I've done it, I did a couple at the Rocky Mountain National Park, which is pretty awesome. Any of those big, like Golden Gate Canyon State Park, I think he probably knows of, is a good place. But any of the state parks or the national parks are they always have the best looking views. You go on a hike, bring your travel big, and just go on one of the big places. You'll find something.
There you go, Joe. So Just Jeff this question's perfect because I can pull up the shot and everything because of the question. So what was your most complicated shot, and what was your funnest shot?
Funnest shot. The funnest shot actually was probably that Wolverine, that very first one on the top left. I think it's like pinned. That was just fun because it was like it came out super easy. The pose looked really awesome, and it was just a really awesome explosion because it's like the crackle balls you use, but the next one up.
Yeah, man, those are big.
Yeah, and they're
loud.
They're loud, and I have to I'm such a baby. I go out and I do these, and I run back in. I do not let my neighbors know it's me. I'll go okay, we're done. Turn off the lights. Go.
I know that feeling too. Especially after one of those, you're like.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't do that. Come running out yourself. You're like, who did that? But hardest shot. Man, I just gotta. I can't even think of a specific one, but there's just certain ones where just things won't stay up. And actually, that turtle one was kind of the one with the two. It looks like the simplest shot ever. Oh, right here, yeah. But that kept falling on me. Because they're just heavy, so I just kept having them. Yeah, so I kept having them fall. So it's really more just typically if I have something hanging, there's always the chance of it falling. But it's kind of crazy sometimes some of the stuff you can get balanced because I use those kind of bendy wire hanger thing. I think you use the same thing. I found it from you.
Just thick wire.
Yeah, like the thick wire hanger stuff or whatever. And
yeah.
But a lot of times they can hold up a good amount, but these guys are a little heavy for it. Sometimes you got to get it perfect.
Definitely, yeah. Literally just a bent up clothes hanger, right? Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, those can hold up a lot of weight.
They can, yeah.
But they are quite hard to move around sometimes.
Yeah, it's the one that you have the spindle of it. It's just a wire on a spindle. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's what I use most of the time. Yeah.
Well, yeah, came out great.
But you can get at Lowe's if anybody's looking.
Yep. Yeah. Yes. Cool. Yeah. All right. Well, now more question just about an action figure in general, but favorite Marvel figure.
I still think that it was my goal pretty quick in getting into it because it was pretty popular at the time. I still think my favorite fig to date is the Miles Morales Sentinel fig. This guy. Yeah. He just comes with a crazy ton of good accessories, super articulate. He's not fragile at all. The Sentinel pieces if they do fall off, they're really easy. They're not my only issue with Mafex sometimes, I don't know if you have this issue, is it can be a little fragile. I've had certain hands fall off of them where they break, the stem of it breaks off. And
oh, really? No, I don't think I've had that.
Oh, that's good. Part of it might be just because I abuse him a little bit, but I every now and again, I got that Darth Vader and pretty quickly one of his little stems fell off, so I have to glue use a tack to leave his hand on one side now. But I don't know, maybe it's just me, but and it doesn't happen often. I still swear by Mafex, but this one just is very sturdy and really photogenic, and yeah, I love that.
Cool.
Thing.
Well, there you go. And I feel like this is a lot of people who have this figure also view it in high regards, you do.
Yeah, and so the Peter B. Parker is probably a very close second. The Sentinel version of him
comes with the soft goods stuff, right?
It does not. I bought the soft goods. If you have the Sentinel and you're looking for soft goods, 5K Toys sells the jacket and the sweats, but the Mafex version I think comes with the soft goods. I
think I've seen it on 5K before.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Cool. Wow. Tons of I appreciate all the questions, everybody. Really
these have been good.
Seismic action. This is a great question. Do you ever
Oh,
find yourself talking to your toys while you set them up? I
yes,
do.
absolutely. Yeah,
Most
for sure.
most of the time, it's like, "Would you stay up?"
Yeah, oh, 100%, you know, and then and at least you're talking to the toy and not yourself, I guess. But yeah, most of the time I'm talking to somebody whenever they're falling up and down and doing whatever they want to do. Yeah, so that's a fun
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, this is
Yeah,
cool. I love the tone,
yeah,
the
yeah,
tone of
yeah.
this shot. The it's lit so nicely. You did a great
Thank
job
you.
with lighting.
Yeah, just a black piece of paper in the background, and I just this is like a little
Wow.
cement block. I put some bricks behind them, and just I bought that moss from like Hobby Lobby. It was like a cheap little bag of Hobby Lobby moss.
Wow, it kind of looks like I think Corvus is the name of the planet where
Oh
Manda
yeah.
like, or at least just like the foggy feeling
Hmm.
to it. So I don't know
Yeah.
what Vader's doing on Corvus, but
Yeah. I mean, he's also out of his time. Like he's not really supposed to be there at all, but he's there.
not at all. But that's the beauty of toy photography. You
Right.
can do
Mix and
whatever
match.
the heck you want.
Exactly.
Cool. So one thing I really wanted to bring up is well, okay, wait, I love this photo.
Thank you. Thank you.
And these are
That's a
this
super action stuff
super action stuff.
again. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
The chairs and everything, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
chairs
And
too.
I just it's a digital background. That's just my TV in the background of just the crowd that I found.
Awesome.
And just just threw it on like a black poster board for the stage bottom.
So first of all, before I actually move into that, if you're not already following Nilla Gorilla _13. So I've got him linked in the description of this video. Just type in Nilla Gorilla. I'm sure it'll come right up on Instagram. Make sure you're following him. Great stuff. Lots of different things to be inspired from. Every shot on this page is different and so incredibly unique from the last one. It's just like so much variety all the time. So just awesome. And plus, clearly, you can tell he's a great dude. So
Thank you.
make sure you're
Thank
following him. But what is Toy Shot Sightings?
Ooh, Toy Shot Sightings. I gotta. That is on my feature site that we started about a year-ish, maybe longer now, maybe a year and a half ago. Just kind of just something to try to give back and get some people featured as best as we can. And myself, my friend Shaliza, who's awesome,
Yeah.
and then my friend Papa Mulan. We just kind of take all three of us do stuff. We took a little break. So this month we're just doing like a monthly challenge, which is summer break. If you all want to join in, it's just check out the site and kind of give you the prompts on doing it. But we're definitely going to be doing a monthly challenge every month, and then we try to do 3 or 4 days a week. We do a top 6 of just people who tag us in their photos. We were doing hashtags, but we've kind of come to the point where hashtags are just kind of non-existent. So
Yeah.
we just have people tag us and we pick from the tags.
Yeah.
Which
Right.
seems to be working a lot better. And then we also do like a weekly top 10, kind of similar to the toy pick community.
Right.
It's a few less pictures and just a few, just kind of just smaller version. So
Cool.
yeah, and we just have 3 guest nominators each week that get to pick their own, whatever pictures they want to feature in that top 10, so that we're not always one picking. I feel like when it's the same 3 people picking, you tend to
Totally.
Yeah.
Yes, I have had the honor and pleasure to be a chooser a couple of times.
I love to choose, and that's my favorite part. I love doing the weekly one is my favorite because I get a chance to feature shots I find throughout the week, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah.
I like doing that. Choosing is fun.
So if you're just getting started with toy photography, or if you're thinking about it and you want to get a little bit extra exposure, or just you want a fun, consistent, challenging theme to keep yourself inspired, follow Toy Shot Sightings and just do some of this stuff, and you get to interact, and you'll probably lead to other people doing similar types of things, which could lead to collaborations and stuff like that. So yeah,
that's definitely how I found the majority of my friends on this is by toy pick community and all those other places. That's how you find everybody.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is so cool. So yeah, it's really cool. So it's just literally, you tag, you follow some of the prompts, and you can get featured, and it's really cool.
Yeah.
It's really, really cool. So
thank you.
And this is Toy Shot Sightings, which I love the
Yeah, Papa Milan designed that. That's her little picture she made up. I was like, that's perfect.
It really is. So
Yeah.
like the Sasquatch sightings, but it's
Yeah.
toy shop.
Well, we were trying to see, because at the time when we started it, she was living in Fort Collins in Colorado as well, and we're like, what's the, what would be an animal from Colorado? And we're like, Sasquatch.
Is that mainly where a lot of the sightings have been?
Oh yeah, it's like one of the ones. I feel like it's kind of every big forest kind of has their own version of a Bigfoot, right? But yeah, it's definitely a banger.
That's awesome.
Oh, thanks,
Mike and Forrest. Yeah,
I'll definitely follow you back whenever I get back on there. Yeah.
And really quick to Jason. Yes, I think I'll definitely do another one of those soon. When I have the time, for sure. I love doing those.
Those are fun. Yeah.
All right, cool. Keep throwing in the questions, you guys. I'm just gonna keep going with that and going back with just talking about some of Jeremy's shots. There's so much to go through. There really is. Okay, and every single one of them has such different techniques too, which is just like
I figured you. I was like, I'm surprised you haven't stopped on that guy. That's like everything you love in one shot.
I mean, right.
Bokeh, lightsabers, and Superman.
It's interesting to think about too. Like, if Superman were to discover a lightsaber, honestly, what I think he'd probably do is it would be in some specific area, placed museum wise in the fortress, to preserve any type of, I don't know, history of where he found it, something like that. That's
agreed.
Not for any type of power.
And then, do you think that a lightsaber could puncture either the Hulk or Superman's skin? What do you think about that?
No,
I don't think so.
I think they'd be pretty useless.
Yeah, I agree. I
don't know about the Hulk, because
he might be punctured. I have seen him. You rarely see Superman bleed, but every now and again, the Hulk does bleed.
Yeah, I think it'd be pretty useless, to be honest. But,
yeah, I agree.
It's still pretty interesting to think about.
Yeah. If he was evil, he'd have fun with it, just slicing everybody else up with it, I guess. But if Homelander had a lightsaber, that's what would happen.
I feel like he'd be so not interested in it. I feel like
maybe not.
And maybe
does he really need it.
Yeah, you just go and have probably much more powerful lasers coming out of his face. But
he's like, I don't need this. I have my own lightsaber in my face.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
So this shot, this bokeh in the background is quite incredible.
Yeah.
I
did that on Photoshop. That was one of the times I didn't make that as a practical effect. Yeah. Well, I found this thing that just I forgot. It's a Photoshop tutorial website. I think it actually might just be called Photoshop Tutorials, and they had one about making just basic bokeh that works in the background, and
wow,
it's pretty simple. Yeah, it's just using I forgot. It's a whole process, but it's not super hard. It took maybe 10 minutes to put it on there at the most.
Cool.
Yeah.
Very interesting, because it looks really good, and it's real bokeh. Well, I don't want to say real bokeh, but it's more real as opposed to just like drawing a bunch of big circles.
Yeah. And I'll it's good. I like it. I wish I could remember the name of the site, but it's pretty good. They have a lot of good little things on there. It's kind of
cool. There's endless amounts of things you can do in Photoshop.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Endless.
Like I said, I'm at the tip of the iceberg with that. I'm definitely no expert.
So am I. I think we all are, to be honest. Oya Sumi says, do you make your own props for your setups?
I mean, a lot of the outdoor ones are just just kind of putting some nature behind them of some sorts, and just kind of doing my thing. That I did the water effect with that with the hose. Just put it
nice.
put it on hose. Shower, and I think it was probably like 2,000 maybe shutter speed, give or take. Yes. Nice thing about Colorado is it's sunny like 300 days of the year, so there is never lack of me being able to find time with the sun.
Awesome.
So just need a reflector pretty much here, and you don't need much during the day other than that. But yes, outside I do. The dioramas I have one from Extreme Sets. I actually just got a few more today, that I'm going to be opening up. But
cool.
There's one other diorama. If any of you guys follow Sequential Plastic, Zach, he's part of the Behind the Plastic group. He made me a diorama for as well. So if you ever see a picture, I do. Here, if you go down a little bit, I think, or the other way. There's a picture. One of the
Towards the
ones I
top?
did. Oh, the other way. Down, like the away from the top. Let's see.
God, there's so many great shots.
That's
Not
yeah.
that
That's an extreme set. That's one of the extreme set ones. But I do like that shot. That was for a jump challenge. Oh, here you go.
one.
The Hulk one is a small little snippet of the garage part of it. I got the little phone booth.
He made that?
Yeah, it's like a whole. He has one is like a window with like a ladder going up onto like a like an emergency ladder in New York you have in like an alleyway.
Mhm.
But it's like has that on there with like a window, and then one has a garage, and the one just like a full brick wall, and they're just magnetic, so I can just kind of flip and choose how I want to use it. And then
That's
it has
so
like a little, yeah, I was like super impressed at what he did, and it has a rooftop as well, so I also have the top part of it.
Wow.
Too. So yeah.
so much to do with just one dio, you know.
Oh yeah, he killed it. It takes up some room, I will say, but it's for good reason. It does.
Well, that's one of the things about dioramas, though. Is one, they take up a lot of room, and sometimes I feel like, well, I can only really use this for one type of environment.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
that's my thought of it. But if you have something like this, so you can move around, like
Yeah, it's a lot better. And then those extreme sets are nice because they're flat, so the box for them is like that thick.
yeah,
you know?
that's quite great.
That's the only reason I like them, and it works perfect for my situation where I don't have a lot of room for storage. So
Right. And Tuscan, I'm doing well, and I think Jeremy is too. And
hi, Tuscan, how are you?
So, Charles says, just woke up and already on my phone to watch the live. Well, Charles, we appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Forrest, with these great questions, he says, should I collect 2 photograph? For example, I don't collect Marvel anymore, but I keep going back to, Moon Knight would be fun to photograph. For me, Forrest, it's like I only buy things I want to photograph.
Yeah, I agree. Same. I never buy anything for the collection, to be honest. If I see something I know I can make pictures with, that's what I get it for.
Right. Yeah. And it kind of helps if you think about it that way, because it stops you from buying things that
you don't really need. Not
Yeah.
that you need any of it, but you don't
Right.
really need the extra.
Right. It keeps you streamlined and only buying things that you want to get some use out of, you know?
100%. I agree.
So, but sometimes you'll get something that's like, this is just cool as hell, and I want this, and I'm not
Yeah.
going to shoot it. Usually those are anything 1/6 scale. Every once in a while, I'll get some bigger stuff, but I don't plan on shooting it. I just want it because it's
Yeah. Oh, I mean, some of them, it's like you can't tell the difference between real or not. Some of my favorite things are like Hot Toys. You look at some of the My Father Django. I don't know if you follow him, or
Yeah.
Happy Day Rebels. Both of those guys, I think Hot Toy pictures are pretty spot on.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Seismic Action again. Do you ever get
Oh.
inspiration from favorite TV shows or movies for shoots?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That there's a picture of the like close up of like Spider-Man and Venom, kind of up towards the top. That was kind of a recreation of Alien 3 poster. I think if you swipe it as the actual poster too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's
I used
interesting how much the parallels there with the Venom and the Xenomorph.
Yeah, I used egg white to make that like kind of slot. This. My friend later on said you probably could have just used sanitizer. I'm like, that would probably been a little bit.
That's
less
true.
Eggy.
Hey, it works. Both
Yeah.
work great. I mean, maybe who knows? Maybe some of the alcohol in the hand sanitizer could have messed with the paint or something.
Yeah, maybe.
That is awesome. Cool, great example for that.
Yeah. Master Tabby said, "Who's my favorite Hulk figure?" I only have one, but my favorite is the SH figure art Avengers Assemble one. It's that one, yeah. It's dope. Flip it, you could see the reaction of the 1-inch punch.
Yeah, this seems like a Hulk figure that not only has the size, but it's got the articulation.
Yeah, it's super articulate.
Expression.
Yeah, and it's got a smile face, a growl face, and like a regular face. So you get a lot of face options. Yeah, that's a smile one then.
This is like the most Hulk like the Hulk has been in the MCU, at least. You know
I
what
agree
mean?
with that.
This is when he was very Hulk-like.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So I've heard the one after that's not bad, the like Infinity War one, but I can't
Right.
vouch for it. You know.
Cool. Great question, Tabby. All right. Well, Charles, congrats. Wait, so it's selling your toys at school in July? Is there like a toy fair or something? I mean, isn't school out in July? I'm just all confused about this.
Yeah.
But either way, cool. Sounds
Yeah.
great. Sounds really
Hope you
great.
make money.
Comic Dad,
Hey,
how's it
what's
going,
up?
man? And No Chewing has popped in too. How's it
What
going?
up, Chewy?
This is a great question too. Seismic Action. Do you ever take toy photos on vacation?
I've taken them on some local vacations. I don't know if I've actually been on a good vacation since I started taking toy photography. So I think I took a little mini vacay up in the. Sorry, my cats are like fighting.
Oh, that's what this.
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah.
Oh no.
I have a big Maine Coon cat and like this little tuxedo cat, and the Maine Coon. They love each other, but the Maine Coon is definitely, when he wants to play, he's kind of a bully. He doesn't
Gotcha.
back. Yeah.
I know how it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, well, you got Venom, and what's the other one's name?
Venom and Toxin.
Toxin. Yeah. Those are both. Yeah, I've seen both of them. They're cute cats. But yeah, he's a really nice guy, but he's kind of a dick at the same time. But yeah. So yes, I would. Honestly, this would be. I would bring this guy if I were to go on vacation. My hot toy Groot.
Right.
I feel like he's kind of the perfect pocket. Well, I guess he's not really
so
pocket.
great.
He's kind of big, but yeah, he kind of just the best versatile fig. He's probably the fig. If I like had to pick one fig to keep, I would probably pick him.
Yeah, it's like he's somebody you can use just like for infinite amount of things, and like he's incredibly fun. I don't even own him or even really held him in person before. I've just seen so many incredible toy photos with him.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. I had like kind of a cheaper. I couldn't even tell if it was actually a hot toy version before, but I just got the new one that came out like a month ago or whatever.
He's fantastic.
Yeah,
he's fantastic.
I agree.
This shot is just like I love the concept of like just like creative ways for Mando to kill stuff.
Yeah,
and this is a perfect example of that.
Thank you. Yeah. I was like, well, and this guy, the one Dark Trooper that's on there, I can't get his stupid head back on. So every picture I've taken lately, his head is just off, which works.
That's good.
Because I did one with him riding a horse and he's swapping their heads off too.
Sometimes you need a figure that's kind of busted already to have in a photo in which a figure is being busted up, and then you don't feel bad about it. Like I have kind of a pile in one area where it's just like messed up figures that I use in photos.
That's super smart. I bet you there's a lot of stormtroopers in there. I'd imagine
they're almost all stormtroopers.
Yeah, which are the best ones to have for that. I think.
Yeah, fodder figures.
Yeah.
Well, is this your favorite Star Wars figure?
My straight.
Right?
Yeah, I think this is my favorite Star Wars figure. It's awesome. I mean, there's really nothing to complain about with it. I mean, it's articulate. It's got a ton of props. For Mayfest especially, who doesn't typically give a lot of props, they gave this guy a lot of props.
Yeah, this is the best Mando.
The wire cape. Yeah, the wire cape's really awesome on there.
It is. Yeah, this is fantastic. Comic Dad, I love this question. He's asked this one before. It's like my favorite question. If you were an action figure, what would your accessories be?
Like I don't. What would be your? Do you know what yours would be?
I guess a couple of cats, a black cat and a black and white cat, and a cheeseburger, bacon cheeseburger.
Yeah.
And
some pizza on mine, some cats. I have a dog, so maybe a dog.
Yeah. Maybe let's see, jar of peanut butter.
Yeah, fair. I like that.
What else? What other stuff?
Maybe some gummies. I like gummies. There's some gummies.
All right. Like what kind of gummies?
I like the gummy savers a lot. Actually, those are always good.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think of some like snack I would have as a prop. I mean, I would actually probably want a basketball because that's what I like to. I like a basketball. I haven't played forever. But,
all right.
Yeah.
I'm sure we could all kind of say like a camera would be cool, or just like an even smaller action figure. Like the figure I have of myself currently is holding a camera and a little mini patrol trooper.
Oh
Figure,
yeah, that'd
so,
be good. Yeah,
so I
a
mean, I guess
lightsaber. I would want a lightsaber just cause, right?
yeah. There you go.
Yeah, yeah.
It is a great question. It's my favorite question.
And if we're worried about the color, I would say like an orangish color for the lightsaber. What would your lightsaber color be, Jared?
Oh, I think probably blue still.
Blue. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a classic, right?
Yeah, and I mean, like, I guess I can't say like dark saber colored, even though it's just, like, that's the coolest lightsaber, really.
It is a cool lightsaber.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Here we go.
Yeah.
You have a figure. You ever had a toy that was just too difficult to work with?
You know, have you heard of the Maestro Union line? Actually,
Yes.
they're like that. Yeah, I like the looks of them, but I think that the Gator's a little rough to work with. I've found ways to work with him, but if you go down, he's in that one picture with the eye right there on the
There we go.
But it's just like he's just not very. I mean, he's great looking. Like I think his head. That's the thing about Maestro Union is they have amazing head sculpts, and in that wolf that they make, I think that wolf is one of the best figs I have. Period. It's articulate, but this one's just like really heavy and really bulky, so you can't really hang it. You can't really move it too much.
I've got the same figure, and I haven't really figured out how to shoot him yet, and I haven't decided whether or not I want to sell him or not. But he's just
he's just big.
He's really big, and big accessories. I'll figure out something cool with him.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Well, and you're not a turtle guy either. I know a lot of people use him for like the turtle. There's a turtle character that they like that hat and like the jacket he comes with is supposed to kind of mimic, I think, whatever turtle character.
Cool. I didn't realize that. That's cool. Toy Mirth, Anthony, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
And of course, he could kind of be like a Killer Croc too.
Yeah, of course.
Like
that's pretty much what I use
we never got.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, let's see. Other good questions. There's a ton of them in here. We did talk about favorite toy brand.
Mm-hmm.
Obi Photobi. Nilla, have you taken any Lego? Recently started taking Lego.
I have. It's actually not too far down. There's a couple. I won these mini figs from like a company. I think they're just called right there. Yeah, there's that guy. I mean, obviously, I'm no expert on Lego, but I've taken a few. Cool. Yeah, it's just like a lid. Well, I mean, I live in Colorado, so it's like a lid of I hold my weed in, but it's like this. It's like a lid of that, and it goes on the back. And I thought it looked kind of like a spot, so I just put them back there. I used like a white poster board and just kind of bent it, so top and bottom, and tried my best not to have too many shadows because I kind of wanted to look like it was part of a different dimension.
And the great job with posing him because of the way you have the head like able to looking upwards.
Yeah, I had to. I used a little tacky on that to get him to look that direction.
It looks great. It's cool because with Lego posing them like in ways like this, you have to start getting creative on how to like pop stuff out and use tack or whatever. Yeah,
well, I think I have a lot of respect for Lego and Funko Pop photographers because I think it's hard to be original with those. I think they're harder. They're not as. I think there's difficulties that come with figs, but I think that the difficulty with Legos and Funkos is trying to find ways of using the little amount of articulation they might have and making it look cool. And it's its own art, I think.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But I love Legos. I mean, I almost did go that direction. I was kind of taking a lot of Lego pictures early, and but then the figs just got me. The articulation is what I wanted. So
it's they're also like really difficult with lighting, at least from my opinion, because
the shine.
Yeah, they're such flat, and that's not like a dig on the Lego. It's just like you gotta be challenge. You gotta be really good with that stuff. It's hard.
I agree. But I've seen, some of my favorite, like what's his name? Macro something. It's gonna bug me now. But he's my favorite Lego photographer. The guy just takes the best. It's all Star Wars stuff, and it's amazing.
I'm sure I probably.
He's a pretty big account. And let's see if that. While you look, I'll look real fast here. See if I can see it. It's macro brick, macro _brick_. Yeah, he's pretty awesome.
Okay, macro brick.
Yeah,
I honestly, I probably already am in
you
fallen.
probably do. Yeah, he's got a pretty big account. I think he's over 10K or something. So I would imagine you
Nice.
passed through him at some point.
I've got to.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna keep grabbing some more shots because,
Yeah.
like, oh, you know what? There's one I really wanted to pull up, which was the here we go, the John Constantine shot.
Yeah.
This is so creative. So, like,
Thank
the
you.
fire in the background is so cool, but the way you got that little, it looks like a lighter on
It
his
is.
hand
That's exactly what it was.
is
Yeah.
so clever. Tell me
Yeah.
about this. This is so clever.
Yeah, it was for a collab. I love doing collabs because I feel like I'm decent at finding ideas, but it focuses me to find something to do, right? So this was like a magic collab, and I love Constantine. He's one of my favorite. I'm not a huge. I have my feelings on Mezco. There's some things I love about them and some things I don't love about them, but I love this character. But I just I have these little wool like things that you use for like fireplace, like gaslit fireplaces, to kind of make it look like the flame bigger. So I use those in the background, and I had it a little bit lower than him because I didn't want him to be seen, and I just lit those up with some lighter fluid. It was actually surrounding him a little bit, but I couldn't get a good shot of the whole thing. And then I just used like a lighter. I kind of just made sure the lighter was like in the black part of there, and I adjusted it later. I just kind of moved it to where it needed to be, and just add a little, and just add a little bit of smoke on a cigarette. And actually, it's lit too. If you look at it, it's like got a little light.
Yeah. This is really cool.
That was in that little fountain I was telling you about again. Another picture in that fountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah. This is really cool, and just the concept of having like a flame in his hand, and then just like the lighter. It's really cool. It's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I had a fun moment. That was fun. Fire's fun. It's scary.
It sure
especially
is.
And every time I do fire, the twice I've done it lately was with him, and I'm like, of course I'm doing one that's clothed, like has real clothes on him. He's not gonna just melt. He's gonna like go up in flames.
Yeah. Soft goods and fireworks fires is tough. It's a little scary. But what's really cool about this figure is I love the look of the sleeves being rolled up and stuff.
Me too.
That's a really cool look that you can't really accomplish with. Well, you definitely can accomplish with like,
but not the same.
But it's really cool. It's definitely one of the, because some people really don't like soft goods, which I think it's great. But
I had my I think that's the best thing with 112 Mezco is that they always have a lot of props, a lot of good props.
They do. Sometimes you get more than you need. It's like, this is a cool prop. I'm never gonna touch this ever, but it's cool.
Yeah, agreed, 100%.
Now this is a good question.
Oh man, I don't have them all. You have that mall, don't you?
Pretty much at this point, and I wouldn't usually do that, but just for the sake of like YouTube videos. But should you go with the Mayfix or SHF? Well, either one, in my opinion, you're gonna get a great figure. Both are awesome, but I do think the Mayfix is a little bit better.
Do you have the Mezco mall or no?
Oh, mall. Oh! I didn't even read the question right. SHF, Mayfix Mando or SHF Mall. I see. Yes. Okay. The Mayfix Mando and the SH Figure Arts Mall. The new one is really good.
Is it
the Darth Maul? Yeah, because the cloak is fantastic. It's crazy, and it comes with the little probe droid thingy.
Oh, cool!
It's awesome.
I'll have to check that out.
Man, it's crazy because I've been a mega Darth Maul fan since I was like 7. But I would say go with the Mando because I think the Mandalorian Din Djarin is more of a versatile character that works in more situations for photos and stuff. Like, I mean, you could have used Darth Maul in this, but I feel like I like Mando more in this shot. And especially having, Grogu in there too adds that extra funny element too, which the shot is amazing. So I would go with Mando, or just go whichever character you like more.
Yeah, I can't get that opinion. I don't have any malls yet. I don't have any malls. Yeah, well, I want one. I just keep on putting it up.
New one's awesome, and also the new Black Series one. Well, there's a couple new Black Series ones coming out. So.
Oh, is there? Okay. Do you have the Mezco version or no? of Maul?
There,
Do you have that one?
I don't think there is a
Oh,
Mezco
I thought there
Maul.
was one. Is there not? Okay.
I
For
think
some reason,
Mezco's
I thought
ever
there
done any
was.
Star Wars,
Oh, okay.
at least
Fair.
that I
And
know
it's
of.
probably the S. It must be the SHF that I'm seeing then. That I see.
Yeah,
Around.
it's got
Yeah.
a big soft goods cloak.
Yeah.
on
That's
it.
probably what threw me off. I thought
Feels
it was
Mezco-y. I see what you mean.
Mezco-y. Yeah.
Totally. All right. Well, I've got a couple final questions of my own
Yeah.
for you that I think are just fun questions. So, number one being, what are the questions I always ask? Oh yeah, what character or something that you would love to have an action figure form that we don't have yet? You know, what that doesn't exist yet, or maybe a version of a character that doesn't exist yet. Like, what do we need that we don't have yet?
You know, I've been collecting that Mafex Batman Hush line. You know, I would really love to see a Batgirl or a Robin in the Mafex in that line.
Yeah.
I don't think in general we have a very good Batgirl out yet. I think there's a few okay, like maybe McFarlane or, you know, maybe I forget who else makes DC, but I haven't seen anything where I'm like, oh, this is a Batgirl I want. So
yeah, McFarlane's definitely done at least one or two Batgirls, but you're right. I'm surprised that Mafex will do it eventually.
I think so. I think it's weird what they're deciding on though, because they brought out. Well, no, I guess it's not weird, but they have the Riddler and the Scarecrow. I think are the next two to come out in that line.
And like, Hush has got like literally every
character.
Worthy character. So it's good book
That'd
for
be
them
a good
to choose. Cool, interesting. So like a Mafex Batgirl
or Robin or both.
And in the time of Hush, that was is it Tim Drake?
It would be Tim Drake, but yeah. Who's your favorite Robin? Do you have a favorite Robin?
I mean, I kind of like Damian.
That's my favorite Robin too.
He kicks so much. He's kind of a brat, but he kicks more ass than any other Robin ever.
Agree. And I think the storyline with him is the best. Like I think that him being his kid, there's something extra to that I like.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, but yeah, I agree. So if they do it right, they'll probably do Tim Drake, but I would really love to see a Damian Wayne version of him on Mafex.
I do think a Tim Drake version would be cool because it's at least in my opinion, like the most like he's a perfect like traditional looking Robin. Like if you were to have just a regular Robin looking figure, he's like the perfect kind of version, I think.
I agree.
In my opinion.
And that's another Mezco one. Have you seen the Mezco Robin that came out? That one's pretty good looking.
Yes, actually, yes.
And I think they kind of did like a little hybrid of a Tim Drake, Damian Wayne. Like it almost seemed like it was kind of a mix and match.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Cool.
Yeah.
Really great answer.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think Mafex would be really good for that. All right, next question is, where do you see yourself as a toy? Usually I say as a toy photographer, but it's like a toy person in 5 years. Where do you see yourself? Or what would you like to see yourself?
Man, I kind of just hope that I keep on just improving on the photography that I'm doing, you know, now. I just hope to keep up the hobby and to keep just kind of just finding new ways of being creative and imaginative with doing it. I don't know if I have any ambition to like try to do this more than just having fun, you know.
Cool.
But I think that'd probably be just it. Just keep it improving.
Good. That's great.
Yeah.
Just keep improving yourself. And honestly, the more you do that, the more everything else kind of like just improves, you know.
Yeah.
It's just naturally will happen. So that's really great. Those are some fantastic, obviously super reachable goals that I'm sure in 1 year you'll probably be at where you think you'd be in 5 years, just judging by, you know, where your stuff is now. Everything you do looks so good.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I think one of the things about your page, just in general, and I already mentioned this kind of, is like your Instagram is very followable, and by that I mean like every shot that you have out looks fantastic, but like you pull it up and you just see this fantastic gallery. You just keep scrolling, and every single square thing is like pops out at you. There's just like you know, there's no like random little things that you post sometime that's like a screenshot of like a story that just says, "Hey guys, I'm," you know, like stuff like that,
Yeah, yeah.
which is
Yeah.
fine to do, but like it, your page gets so followable when just everything just looks good at every point in time, you know.
Thank you. Yeah, I just like, the reels are fine, but like at the end of the day, you know, I'm here for the photography, and I do reels here, and I should do more BTSs. I am trying to get better about that, but you know, like reels and stuff, I do them, but it's not where the passion is. You know, I'm not. It's not the Instagramming; it's the photos and just putting them on and hanging out with the community and meeting people. That's where I care about this.
Awesome. Yeah, and you certainly excel in that for sure.
Thank you.
All right. Well,
Thanks,
if
buddy.
you're not following Jeremy Nilla Gorilla _13, just do that. Go give him a follow. And like I said too, just search for it, or the link is right in the video description too. So it couldn't be any easier for you to go and follow him. So please do, and just learn some stuff. And hey, get involved in Toy Shot sightings. You know,
Definitely
just
and,
do that.
and DM us about anything. Like if you ever have any questions about anything we're running or whatever, you know, feel free to reach out. We're all very friendly.
Cool. Perfect way to get involved and just, I don't know, be a part of stuff with people, you know.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a good little community.
It sure is. It sure is incredibly welcoming, and just you feel good all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy how much it grows too. I mean, even the 2 years I've done this, it's insane. Like, it's crazy.
Incredible.
And the talent just gets better and better. I feel like.
So true. The more toy photography grows as a whole, the better it is for us.
Agreed.
It is for everybody. Cool. All right. Well, dude, thank you again for everything. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for being as awesome and supportive as you are in general. Thanks for providing great places for community to exist, like Toy Shot sightings and stuff like that.
And also to you, to all the same things. You know, you're always a big part of this, and I always appreciate what you do as well.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, everyone, thanks for tuning in to and fantastic stuff in the live chat, everybody. Like, holy crap.
I appreciate everybody showing up.
Same.
Yeah.
We'll have a great Monday. Have a great rest of the day, everyone. And talk to you later.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jared. Bye, everybody.
Bye.